Hi everyone, I'm Emily Shields and this is my time capsule. Um, so what I did basically was I went and brainstormed a list of the skills that I find to be very valuable to living as an adult today in 2019. And they basically fall under the main categories of communication, money management, and foods. Um, Beyond that, I was struggling to fit it all in the box. But so I'm just going to go through and pull out items, and I've got little descriptions written on the backs for what the skill is and some tips about how you could improve or maintain those skills. So the first one I've got here is an envelope for a thank you note, and its skill is communication. So what I have written here is communication skills are important in all walks of life. You need to be able to communicate information clearly to your peers, coworkers, and even family. So making communication a priority is a great way to improve that skill. So reading books and magazines and making small talk with people and watching movies and just communicating and absorbing the way other people communicate is a great way to improve your own personal communication. And listening carefully and taking time to respond clearly and thinking through what you want to say. And staying on message and using simple, straightforward language. So not overcomplicating your words with excessive vocabulary and just getting your message across the way that you want it to be. And next I have a little change purse here for money management. So money management can be a tricky topic that often causes people a lot of stress, but the sooner you start managing your money properly, the sooner the stress of money will lessen. So you really need to know your priorities, plan for emergencies, develop a budget, and stick to it. So I found that to be a really important one because not a lot of kids understand the importance of money management and why it can be a difficult topic for people to talk about because money tends to make people uncomfortable. But once you start managing your money and being aware of how you're spending your money and how much money you have to spend, really, it becomes less of a stress. And to that topic, the next item I have here is a little calculator. And the skill that we're talking about here is budgeting. So to create a solid budget, you need to know exactly how much money you have and how much money you're going to be spending. Creating a realistic budget can be a really challenging task, and sticking to that budget can be even more difficult. But budgeting can help anyone improve their financial situation. Some tips for keeping a reasonable budget and sticking to it are establishing your needs versus wants, which is something that we've all struggled with at some point in our lives and a really great lesson to do in class, tracking your spending and cutting your bad habits. So needs versus wants is a really popular lesson that I've enjoyed making lesson plans for too, because it really gets kids to think about what in their life is really important to them and what they can't get by without. And next I have a little coffee cup, and this falls under communication. It's networking is a skill that I found to be very important in today's society. Networking is one of the most effective ways to make meaningful and useful connections in your career. There are many ways to network in person and online. Through networking, people can make connections to their industry to help them advance their career. So some things you can do to improve your networking skills and abilities is to create a LinkedIn account, join business organizations in your industry, and to socialize with coworkers outside of work and at work functions. Networking is huge right now. It's how everyone gets anywhere. Everyone always says you got to know somebody to get in there. And everyone's constantly networking now on social media, and there's so many different ways to do it that it's a very important skill to learn. And this next one I have here is a little stress ball for stress management. Stress management can mean different things for everybody. 75% of Americans have reported experiencing moderate to high levels of stress. And so how you can learn to manage your own stress is to figure out what relaxes you, because different things relax different people, and some things that would be considered relaxing just stress other people out more. Removing yourself from stressful situations and setting realistic goals. So it's not always about managing your stress after the fact, but maybe working towards preventing it. And here I have a little Tupperware container for under foods. And the topic here is food and meal planning. Every adult needs to have even a basic understanding of food preparation and planning for meals. Maintaining a healthy diet is important for longevity and happiness in adult and independent life, and planning for meals can even help save money. Some tips for food prep and meal planning are to meal prep at the beginning of the week and plan out your lunches, because I know working, some of the biggest costs that I'd have are buying lunch every day. So like making a big meal on Sunday and portioning it off throughout the week ends up helping to save a lot of money. And planning meals for the week ahead of time and saving recipes that you like to make and eat, because meal planning and prepping is no fun if you're only eating rice and grilled chicken the entire week. You got to make it interesting and enjoy yourself, and then it's not a chore anymore. Next here falls under communication. I've got my very first resume. So it's a little short. So the skill here is self-advocacy. You can have all the skills in the world, but if you aren't willing to advocate for yourself, you might as well not have any. Being able to advocate for yourself can improve the way that you see yourself and the way that others see you. So one tip that I have is to stop apologizing unnecessarily, something that I know I struggle with and a lot of my peers struggle with. Communicating your needs and wants and sharing with others when something is bothering you. So self-advocacy is something that some people don't have any problem with and some people really struggle with, and I think that's something important to communicate to students. And yeah. And next I have a little file folder for organization. Organization's a skill that a lot of people enjoy having and a lot of people need to work hard to have. And one way and a few ways to improve your organization skills is to create to-do lists and to throw out or donate duplicate or unneeded items, and to organize things in the way that you most actively use them. So it makes no sense to have the filing cabinet that you use all the time across the room when it could be right next to your desk. Simple things like that. And the next topic is conflict resolution. I've got a little ice pack because I figure it means ice is always the solution when you get into conflict. So every conflict has different causes and often needs to be approached in different ways. Conflict is found in every area of life, and knowing how to deal with it and resolve the issue can make a huge difference in your life. So in conflict resolution, you need to actively listen to the problem from both sides, look for equal compromises, and keep it private. So not gossiping around to your neighbors or sharing, expect getting everyone's point of view on it. The point of views that really matter are the people who are involved. So it doesn't make any sense to share it with everybody and make it a much bigger issue than it needs to be. And our next skill is technology. I have my old iPod. In today's world, technology skills are some of the most important skills that adults need to have. Understanding technology doesn't necessarily mean you can do everything, but to understand the basics of using technology is important as an adult at home, in the workplace, and important towards getting an education. Some tips to better your technology skills are to learn how to use PowerPoint, Excel, and Word proficiently, using social media, and being able to search and navigate the web efficiently. So a lot of people have very polarizing views on social media and technology, but in today's world, it is necessary to know how to use it, whether you use it for your personal life or not. It's a good skill to have, knowing how to navigate those sites and how to use them. And up next, I have a tie for presentation. Everyone knows that first impressions are very important, and the way that we present ourselves is a big part of that. Presentation and the way that we dress can affect our own self-confidence and the way that others perceive us. This doesn't have to mean that you're on trend or fashionable, but presentation in itself is important. So wearing clean and well-fitted clothes, maintaining good posture, and having neat hygiene and grooming. And here I have interpersonal skills. I have a photo of me and a few of my coworkers at a work event. And interpersonal skills is something that everyone adds to their resume, but not everyone knows what it means or how to improve these skills. Some tips for maintaining or improving your interpersonal skills are maintaining a positive attitude, being a team player, accepting constructive feedback, and just having self-confidence and being willing to put yourself out there and share who you are with everybody else. And this one didn't fit, but I have a watch here, and the skill is time management. Managing time is a vitally important skill that adults and people living independently need to have. Adults today need to know how to effectively prioritize tasks and multitask when necessary. Some tips for managing your time or getting better at managing your time would be keeping an updated calendar, planning ahead, and learning how to delegate or ask for help. A lot of people are afraid to ask for help because they think it'll show that they don't know what they're doing or that they're not good at what they're supposed to be doing. But asking for help is the only way you're ever going to get better at that. So the only way to manage your time better, if you're going to be spending all your time working on something you don't know how to do, is to ask for help. It just makes sense. Next, I have a plane ticket. A skill that isn't always thought of is traveling. Being able to travel and navigate your way through unfamiliar areas is an important skill. Today, there are so many different phone apps that can help with traveling through unfamiliar cities, but in addition to understanding the apps that can help you travel, it's important to be able to figure out where you're going without the aid of technology, because you never know when your phone is going to die when you're stranded in some strange airport you've never been to. So some tips are to download those travel apps for the area, but even in addition to that, to research the resources in the area for tourists or people who are traveling and making sure you know what gate you have to connect to and things like that. So I hope you liked my time capsule. Thank you for watching, and I really enjoyed taking this class with you all this semester. Looking forward to watching all of yours. Bye.